It's my review for The Sun Is Also a Star. It is based on the book, which most movies that I watch of books, I've read the book, but I haven't read this book. I don't think I'll read the book. Maybe, I don't know. But it's directed by Rai Russo Young, I think he's the director. She directed an episode of Cloak and Dagger and a few other things. I think Before I Fall, or she acted in it. She's an actress and a director. But The Sun Is Also a Star. It stars Charles Melton, who, that's my boy, was Reggie? Yeah, Reggie. That's my boy Reggie from Riverdale. So I love Riverdale. Some people, they don't really watch it anymore because they're like, oh, it's getting ridiculous and all that. Me, I'm all for the ridiculousness. Like, I feel like they just go down so many different holes of different stuff that keeps happening, and the mystery just keeps getting bigger and bigger and all this. Like, I'm for it. I'm like, you don't have to stay in one little lane. Like, you can just add all this extra stuff and then play it off in different seasons later on if you want to. I'm okay with it. I like it. I don't complain much about stuff. Like, something has to be really bad for me to complain about it. Like, I'm okay with most stuff. Cause I used to watch bad movies on purpose. I used to stay up late at night and watch sci-fi movies all night and just find terrible horror movies and other stuff to watch on purpose. So if something's really, really bad, I'll say if it's really bad. But like I said, Charles Melton, Reggie, he stars in this movie. He plays Daniel Bay, B-A-E. And it's also starred, like I said, he's from Riverdale. It also stars Yara Shahidi. She's from Blackish, Grownish. I don't watch either one of those shows. I don't watch Blackish. I don't watch Grownish. I just couldn't get into it. It's not for me. But I know she's in it, and there's like 1 billion episodes of that. So she's from that. You'll know her from there. I remember Yara Shahidi from the Imagine That movie with Eddie Murphy in 2009. She was the daughter in that movie. I remember that a long time ago. I was like, I know I've seen this girl before. And it's not for Blackish or Grownish because I've only seen a few episodes and I didn't pay attention because I didn't like it. But I know it's a good show. It's just not for me. But yeah, she's from Imagine That with Eddie Murphy. She was, that's 9 years ago? Yeah. No, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. That young. Now she's older, grown now. But she plays, her character is Natasha Kingsley. So also in the movie, and it wasn't on IMDb, but also the brother is played by Jake Choi. I didn't really notice anything he was in, but I've seen him before. Like, his face is familiar. I know I've seen Jake Choi before. But John Leguizamo's in this movie. You remember him from, he was the clown in the original Spawn movie. He's been in so many other movies. Like, you don't know John Leguizamo by me saying the name then. But he plays the attorney in this movie, and I could not find him on IMDb. I was like, I know I've seen that dude's face. I know who he is. And I'm like, John Leguizamo. Like, why is he not on there? But he's in the movie for a bit, so. But the movie itself, it stars, so Natasha, basically what the story of the movie is Natasha is trying to not get her family deported. She is an immigrant from Jamaica. She wasn't born in America. None of her family members are born in America. It's her brother, her mom, and her dad. And so she goes to meet this attorney dude. She calls the attorney's office like, please, can he help me? Because the guy's like, here, yeah, he may be able to help you. I went to school with him. And then out of nowhere, she's wearing a Deus Ex Machina like jacket. And so we see Daniel's character, he like does poetry and stuff. And so he wrote Deus Ex Machina, and he sees her jacket because he's watching the people in New York or whatever. He's like, oh man, I need to find that girl. So the whole movie is about him trying to prove that fate will like bring them together and things like that. Like, if you watch the trailer, he's like, I can make you fall in love with me in one day. Because she's like, I don't believe in love. I believe in science and the Big Bang and this and that. Like, to me, the Big Bang never made sense as a theory for me. I don't see how something like, everything's too balanced for that to make sense. But it's whatever. She's one of those scientist people. She's like, oh, I don't believe in love. I don't believe in this and that. Like, none of it makes sense. If you can't prove it, to use the scientific method on it, then it doesn't exist. Like, that's how she was acting in the movie. I think that's just her character. I don't think her acting was not bad at all. I think it's the dialogue and then the character themselves that weren't really there. But Charles Melton, Daniel playing Daniel Bay. Like I like him as Reggie in Riverdale, but him playing Daniel in this movie, his I guess his charisma and the way that he portrays everything is really good. Like I was interested. I'm like, man, like maybe he can make this girl fall in love with him in one day. Like I believe he can. And then like at one point she was like, no, I only have like an hour. It's like, bro, can he do it in an hour? I think he can. Like I was like, and you know how Veronica did. And if you watch Riverdale, I'm like, finally he gets a girl. Like because Veronica was kind of with him, not really. I don't know, whatever. I'm like, she's annoying me in Riverdale right now. But yeah, I was like, let him get the girl finally. Let's go. But he was amazing. Her acting was pretty good too. She was conveying the fact that she was like stressed out the whole time. Like, yo, like I can't be falling in love with you. I'm stressing about my family. And then like, oh man. But the movie itself, I enjoyed the story. For it to be a movie that I've never read the book, I never like cared. Like I wanted to watch it, so I'm gonna watch it, do a review. It looks decent. I watched it and I feel like they did a great job because I cared about the characters once the movie was over. Like I actually cared. Like we're getting towards the end and you're seeing like what happened with their life, and I'm like, bruh, like I'm stressed out. I'm like, please let them be together. Like they love each other. Why can't they be together? Like the movie, if you actually feel, it'll make you like feel for the characters. And then the way the story goes, I don't know if it's the same in the book, but the way the story went in the movie, I was like, oh, like why? Like I'm happy that they went a different route, but it still hurt. I'm like, oh man, like why are they doing this? But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't like the best, greatest. Oh my God, you have to see it. But if you watch it, I feel like you'd enjoy it. I definitely enjoy The Sun Is Also a Star. I like stuff like that with like good, like say, good stories and a purpose. Like if you just gotta check stuff out. Like I know a lot of people, they'll see stuff and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. But me, like I remember my friend Trent, like I didn't like Twilight. He didn't like Twilight. We talked crap about Twilight. This is one of the movies where I learned Twilight. That's one of the movies where I learned to never talk about something until I watched it. Because one day he calls me in the morning. He's like, yo, Twilight, I watched it. I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? Why would you watch Twilight? This was like years ago. And he's like, you gotta watch it. And so I watched Twilight. And we both loved Twilight. And I'm like, man, like, I need to not talk about stuff before I watch it. So that's why I get irritated with people now when they like, oh, I don't want to see that. Like, it looks stupid, blah, 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 like this and that. I'm like, until you watch something, your opinion does not matter to me. Like, that's how I am. Because I knew I was the same type of person where I would give opinions on stuff and say something was bad or it's stupid and it sucks. And I never watched it. So you can't really do that. Like, until you watch it, then you can say that. Like, if you really feel that way, you can say that. But me, until you watch it, you can't really say it. Because you gotta give it a chance. I give everything a chance. And most movies that I give a chance, I enjoy them. To be honest, the more movies that I'm usually disappointed in is ones that I want to watch. Like The Nun, I'm very disappointed in The Nun. Movies that people hype up, like It Follows, that movie was terrible to me. I hated It Follows. I don't know how it got great, amazing reviews. There's another movie, Sorry to Bother You. I went to see that movie bad. That movie is terrible, so bad. I hated it. But The Sun Is Also a Star, definitely watchable. The emotion, it got me into, I cared. Like, I did not care about these characters, I'm telling you. And I cared about them by the end. I'm like, oh my God, I was stressed out. I'm like, please let them be together. The story is so sad. Like, I was kind of crying and stuff. I was like, please, no. But definitely you should watch it. It was great, I enjoyed it. Like I said, all you gotta do is comment, subscribe to be eligible for the giveaway. I'm still doing the giveaways. I still got the Spider-Man, Aquaman, the Bumblebee giveaway waiting, just waiting. I got some other ones I'm gonna get to. But thank you guys so much for your time and continued support.